Okay, I'm going to be making the American hamburger goulash. Okay, this is a pound of ground beef. You can use ground turkey if you like. I'm going to be frying that into crumbles. And then to that, I'm going to add 2 cups of onion. And I put a rough chop on those, and I use Vidalia. And then I've got 4 14-ounce cans of this red gold diced tomatoes with basil, garlic, and oregano. And 1 can of whole kernel yellow corn. And I'm going to be using Worcestershire sauce in the recipe also, probably 1 to 2 tablespoons. And I've got a 2-pound box of macaroni here, and I'm probably going to be using half of a box. And of course, here's my boiling water for the macaroni. And so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, the ground beef is coming along really nicely. So now I'm going to add the onions. Okay, give them something to do. They're just kind of sitting there bored. Okay, nobody freeloads in my house. So, okay, there you go. And then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. If you don't like Worcestershire, maybe you could use soy. You'll have to experiment with the amount though. And you may want to use less Worcestershire. So I'm going to saute this until the onions are tender, and then I'll be right back. Okay, here the onions are sauteing with the ground beef. I wish we had smell-o-vision right now, because I think you would really be happy right now if you could smell that. It smells wonderful. I took this pot and I filled it about half full of water, maybe a little more, and I added a pound of macaroni noodles and a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of oil to help prevent sticking. And you have to stay on top of any kind of pasta. You can't just walk away and leave it. These are probably going to go for 8 to 10 minutes. I'll check them in 8 for tenderness, and I'll be right back. Okay, what I have done is I have put the macaroni noodles through a strainer. I covered them with cold water, ran them through the strainer again. Now I've covered them with cold water again, and I'm going to run them through the strainer again. This is to stop the cooking process so that they don't get too mushy. Okay, I've cooled the macaroni noodles as I've showed you before, and I've placed them in a separate dish. And now I have also added the 4 cans of tomatoes with basil, garlic, and oregano. And I added another tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce because some of it evaporated during the cooking process of the meat earlier. And of course I added a teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm going to stir all this up because I've freed up this pot from the macaroni to do all my mixing in. And so I'm going to stir this and bring it to a boil, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've stirred it all up, the ground beef, the onions, the tomatoes, the corn, and I'm going to bring it to a boil, as I said before, and then I'm going to cover it and turn off the eye so that it can just simmer for a while. Okay, it's coming to a boil now, and you have to stay on top of this. You can't just walk away from it. You have to stir it frequently while it's coming to a boil, or some of it will stick on the pot. And I didn't think there was enough Worcestershire, so here's my 4th tablespoon right there. Alright, and I'm going to give that a stir. And as you can see, I'm really fancy, you know, because I'm using my special plastic spatula. I think it was like $1. But anyway, so I'm going to give this a stir. Now that it's come to a boil, I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to basically just turn the stove off, or maybe you could leave it on low if it's going to be quite a while before you're going to be eating. But make sure that you cover it so that you don't have evaporation. Okay, as you can see, the goulash has been simmering for about 10 minutes after I turned the eye off and covered the pot. And here are the macaroni noodles, which I keep separate. I'm even going to refrigerate them separately. I don't like mixing the two, okay? Because what happens is the macaroni noodles get oversaturated with the tomato sauce, okay? And it makes the noodles soggy, and everything just kind of loses flavor. So what I've done here is I've created a portion for my husband. I've done like 2 ladles of the noodles and 2 ladles of the sauce. I'm not exactly how many people that this would feed. I would say 4 with maybe some leftovers, or 2 with maybe a lot of leftovers. A child's portion would probably be like 1 ladle of macaroni and 1 ladle of sauce or whatever. I don't know. It just kind of depends on, you know, your own appetite and all that. But anyway, that is my recipe for American hamburger goulash, and I hope you'll try it, and I hope that you like it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.